In recent years, there had been a number of incidents in which passenger planes were shot down deliberately or by mistake. In this video, we will have a brief overview of some deadliest cases of passenger planes shot down by missile or fighter jet. Flight MH17. On 17th July 2014, Malaysian airline flight MH17 took off from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. The plane was Boeing 777 carrying 283 passengers and 15 crew members. The plane was flying over Ukraine, approximately 40 kilometers from the border with Russia over the area of Donetsk, when suddenly it disappeared from radar. Later, the wreckage from the plane was found in the village of Rabov in Donetsk region. Due to ongoing trouble between UK and Russian-backed rebels in the region, no access was provided to the crash location. However, rebels handed over dead bodies and flight data recorder to Malaysian officers in Donetsk. On investigation, the Ukrainian authorities confirmed that the black box showed the plane was destroyed by a massive explosive decompression caused by the shrapnel from a missile. Later in 2015, a video was released in which separatists looking at the wreckage of MH17 shortly after the crash and finding that the aircraft was civilian rather than military, which showed that the plane was mistakenly identified as hostile and was shot down. Missile fired at Flight 752. On 8 January 2020, Flight PS752 of Ukraine International Airlines was en route from Tehran, Iran to Kyiv, Ukraine. The plane was Boeing 737 with 167 passengers and 9 crew members on board. The plane took off from Tehran's Imam Khomeini International Airport and was shot down by missile fired at the aircraft by Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The incident was initially blamed on technical difficulties, but it was later revealed that the plane was shot down by Iranian air defenses in a mistake during a tense time in the region, when the United States carried out the assassination of Qasem Soleimani and some hours after Iran retaliated with Operation Martyr Soleimani. Iran Air Flight 655. On 3 July 1988, Flight 655 was scheduled from Tehran to Dubai via Badr Abbas. The plane was Airbus A300 and was carrying 290 passengers and crew members. While flying over Iran's territorial water in Persian Gulf, the plane was blown from the skies by a SM-2MR surface-to-air missile by a US Navy cruiser. According to former CIA analyst, the plane was mistaken as Iranian F-14 Tomcat fighter jet, which was reportedly going to attack their ship. The US government accepted the mistake and paid $61.8 million in compensation. However, Iran takes it as a deliberate action by US forces. Incident of Flight 007. Korean Airlines Flight 007 was a commercial passenger flight that was shot down by Soviet Union on 1 September 1983. The plane was Boeing 747, which was en route from New York City to Seoul, deviated from its planned route and entered Soviet airspace. The Soviet military mistook the aircraft for a spy plane, and Soviet Suk Su-15 interceptor jets shot it down. As a result, 269 passengers and crew members all died. Soviet government initially denied any involvement, but later accepted that the plane was mistook as RC-135 reconnaissance plane. The incident caused international outrage and was a major factor in escalating tension between the Soviet Union and United States during the Cold War. The Soviet Union initially claimed that the flight was a spy plane and it had acted in self-defense, but this claim was widely discredited. The downing of Flight 007 was seen as a gross violation of international law and a major breach of civil aviation safety. Libyan Arab Airlines Flight 114. On 21 February 1973, Boeing 727 of Libyan Arab Airlines was carrying 113 passengers from Tripoli to Cairo via Benghazi. The plane strayed from its course and entered into Israeli-controlled airspace when two Israeli Air Force F-4 Phantom II jets intercepted the plane. The Israeli military mistook the passenger plane for a military aircraft and fired 20 mm rounds, apparently trying to cripple the Boeing. The Boeing 727 sustained severe damage and exploded while the pilot attempted a belly landing in the desert, killing 108 passengers and crew on board. Luckily, 5 people, including the co-pilot, survived the incident. The incident caused widespread outrage and led to the increased tension between Israel and several Arab countries. Cyber Airlines Flight 1812. On 4th October 2001, Cyber Airlines Flight 1812 was shot down by Ukrainian military. The plane was Tupolev Tu-154, carrying 78 passengers and crew members, which was en route from Tel Aviv, Israel, to Russia, and was shot down by Ukrainian surface-to-air missile during military exercise in Crimea. All 78 passengers and crew on board were killed in the crash. The Ukrainian government initially denied responsibility for the incident, but later acknowledged that it was a result of a mistake by its military. Ukrainian government clarified that during exercise, the missile was fired at a drone. However, the same missed and hit Flight 1812. The incident raised too much tension as most of the passengers were Soviet immigrants to Israel. Shutdown of Flight 402. On 27 July 1955, Bulgarian Air Force intercepted Flight 402 and shot it down. The plane was Lockheed L-049 Constellation, carrying 58 passengers from London to Tel Aviv via Paris, Vienna, and Istanbul when it strayed into Bulgarian airspace. 2 Bulgarian Air Force MiGs intercepted the plane and shot it down on the instructions of Bulgaria's Deputy Commander-in-Chief of Air Defense. All 58 passengers and crew on board were killed in the crash. It also marked one of the first incidents of a civilian passenger plane being shot down in the post-World War II era. All such incidents have far-reaching consequences and raises important questions about the use of military force, accountability, and the protection of civilians. It is important that we work together to prevent these incidents from happening in future through improved communication and accountability. The international community must work together to ensure the safety and security of all civilians, including those who are flying in passenger planes. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. If you like the video, press the like button, comment, and subscribe our channel for more videos coming soon. Thank you.